Right, good morning. And thank you for joining us today at Rose Hill Manor Park Museums for this special ribbon cutting celebration. And I know many of you are very familiar with this park, which makes this day even more special because you've been a part of it since its very beginning. And that's an exciting time for all of us. Today marks an exciting milestone, a milestone with the grand opening of the new Seed to Harvest exhibit building. And this building represents the continued partnership between Frederick County Farm Museum Association and the Frederick County Division of Parks and Recreation, working together to preserve and share Frederick's rich agricultural history for almost 50 years together. You know, give it up, 50 years, that's great. The Seed to Harvest building, as it's been called, will provide visitors with a new opportunity today to explore the history of farming in Frederick County and the ways agriculture has evolved over time. And you will see that firsthand today as you walk through this building. A lot of time and care and energy has been made to make that very, very possible today. Through exhibits featuring historic farm equipment and stories from the people who worked this land for generations, visitors will gain a deeper understanding of the innovation, the labor, and traditions that help shape our community. There's pieces of equipment in here that I'm still trying to figure out how that works. And so I may ask a lot of questions today. So it's pretty cool. Before we begin today's program, though, I'd like to just recognize our speakers and presenters who are joining us this morning. The County Executive, Jessica Fitzwater. Secretary of Agriculture, Kevin Atticus. The President of the Frederick County Farm and Museum Association, Kitty Giuliani. Mark Spurrier, who's representing the Spurrier family today. And the very first president of the Frederick County Farm Museum Association for almost 50 years, again, I'll say that, Mr. Paul Leatherman. I'd also like to recognize the Parks and Rec Commission members that are here and the County Council members that are here today. Thank you for being here today. We'd also like to acknowledge recognize all the community partners and supporters that have showed up today to actually help us celebrate this event. And guests joining us for this celebration, we thank you. We thank you for being here. Agriculture is a very big part of what Parks and Rec does in preserving that. And also, it's just really big for the county. It's one of our goals and objectives is to preserve agricultural land and to share that story. As I was just sharing with Mr. Leatherman earlier, to share that story with others for next generations. It's very, very important to do that. So now, please join me in welcoming the County Executive, Jessica Fitzwater. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for that introduction. And I really think it is important to just double down on what he said about just the breadth and depth of what our Parks and Recreation team does. We have so many beautiful, unique parks and amenities here in Frederick County, and this spot truly is special. My own kids will be doing some of the history camps here this summer, and our programming teams and our educators are just phenomenal. It's such a great way for our young people to stay connected to the rich history of Frederick County. But today I am so thrilled to be here to help cut the ribbon on this beautiful new exhibit barn. Opening this building and exhibit is a testament to the ongoing partnership Frederick County government has with our amazing community partners. We accomplish so much more when we work together, and this really is just the Frederick County way of doing things, people coming together and finding new and innovative ways to continue to move our community forward. I know Jeremy shared a few thanks already, but I want to thank a few other partners who are here today. We have County Council member Mason Carter here. Mason, thank you so much for joining us. And we're joined by many of our team members from our Frederick County Office of Agriculture and our Division of Parks and Rec, who also work very closely hand in hand throughout the year. I know we'll be hearing soon from our current president of the Frederick County Farm Museum Association, Kitty Giuliani. We are really looking forward to hearing your remarks as well, and are being joined by Secretary Kevin Atticus. He spends a lot of time in Frederick County, which is a testament to what each and every one of you are doing every day, and we're really grateful that you're here, Secretary. This celebration wouldn't be possible without the leadership of everyone who's here today and without the dedicated staff and volunteers who support this work. The county has had a working agreement with the Frederick County Farm Museum Association since their founding here at Rose Hill Manor Park in 1977. Today's celebration and activities are reflective of our joint mission to provide opportunities to collect and share our county's rich agricultural history and heritage, and provide educational opportunities that bring to life the county's motto of rich history, bright future. We're very grateful for this partnership and for the dedication of the many volunteers and board members, both past and present, who have really kept this Frederick County Farm Museum going and have faithfully served this organization for many, many years. This partnership has helped to ensure the county is able to both preserve our rich agricultural heritage and to educate future generations through our events, programs, and field trips. This exhibit barn is yet another opportunity on this historic campus to bring the history of Rose Hill Manor and Frederick County to over 16,000 visitors and school children each year. We're so excited to welcome all of you today to the opening of our exhibit barn, and we can't wait for you to see it. It is now my honor to introduce our next speaker, the Frederick County Farm Museum Association President, Kitty Gianella.
Again, I want to emphasize what they said. I want to thank everybody for coming. This is a wonderful turnout with lots of organizations represented. New organizations, organizations have been around for years, like the Farm Bureau, and we appreciate all the support that we get from each one of you. So, and we are excited to open that door so you can see this new exhibit. I would like many of the Farm Museum Board, we come from a farming family in Frederick County, helping to preserve the agricultural history so that future generations know that it's not just about preserving land, but it is about honoring the resound, hard work, and deep-rooted connection to the soil that our ancestors built. We all bring our own connections to this space, and we will continue to build for future generations to make many memories and many connections. Having said that, I have a board that is very supportive. When I ask of them, they're there for me. We had a committee for 2 years for this building. We worked tirelessly to get the exhibits ready, to get the information to them, to get pictures to them. So having said that, I would like everybody who is on the present board of the Farm Museum to stand up right now and be recognized. Your dedication means so much to me, and I so do appreciate everything that you do. Also, and this wasn't on my notes, so Carrie hasn't seen this. Also, we owe a big thank you to Carrie and Mandy. Without them, I would have never been able to come up with the ideas and the concept and the layout for signs and signage and the history so that every generation who walks through this building can read a sign and understand, including Jeremy, where some of this equipment come from. So Mandy, Carrie, thank you very much. We really do appreciate it. This building was on the master plan in 2007. That was a few years ago, right? There's many times it got pushed back for a lot of different reasons, but it happened. And we stand here today. A year ago, I stood in this spot and looked at the foundation of this building and tried to envision what it was going to look like. Was it big enough? Was it too small? Did we mess up something and everything in our design for them and everything? But we didn't. And I think you will agree with me when you walk inside that you will see that the design is wonderful. The layout is very easy to go through and see and understand. And all of us, all these people who stood up here a couple minutes ago, will be more than glad to answer any of your questions you have. So as you go in there, don't hesitate to find somebody that has a name tag on them and everything. So anyway, the one most important thing and the most important person that has helped us all these years is Mr. Paul Spurrier. Mr. Paul was an advocate for going to the park's office, and they will tell you he didn't have to knock on the door. Just walked in, went to the office he wanted to find, and talked to who he wanted to talk to. When we needed something, we sent Mr. Paul Spurrier, and we appreciate everything he has done. And Mark told me this. Mark said, "Did you bring Kleenex?" Mr. Paul, we dedicate this exhibit to you. Now, hopefully everybody got a button advertising their fall show and has the date on it. So we want to welcome you to come back in October, be October 3rd and 4th for our annual fall show. We'd love to see you. We'd love to have the support. And more important, we are now working on next year, which is our 50th anniversary. And we are excited for what we can do to be prepared to show 50 years of heritage at this farm museum. So after that, I'm going to introduce Secretary of Agriculture, Kevin Addix.
Well, good morning. First of all, let me just say that this is a hugely important moment. When you think about what this building represents, it represents the history of agriculture in Frederick County. I've talked to a lot of farmers who can point to their barns as their own farm museum with a bunch of equipment that they've collected from grandparents and great-grandparents and all that. The difference between that and this right here is, while this is preserving history, it's presenting it for the future. And why is that important? It's important that because agriculture, while it's the #1 industry in the state, while there are 1,300 farms in Frederick County, most of the general population has zero connection to farming. They have zero connection to where their food comes from. They have zero connection to what those products are that built their house. They just don't have that experience. They are 2 generations, 3 generations, 4 generations away from it. And so by a county dedicating space, time, volunteer hours, dollars, thank you to the county exec and the county council, we're able to showcase agriculture and create a place that the community actually wants to come to, spend time learning. Kids will come here with their schools, with their parents. One of the things that I love about this farm museum is that it's not out in the country. At least now it's not out in the country. It used to be out in the country. But if you're quiet for a minute, and if you look around, you'll see that you've got all of the signs of the challenges of agriculture around you. You've got the development that we passed on the way in. By the way, those can be customers for this wonderful place. You've got cars off to your left, major highways, major interstates that inevitably will need to be expanded. If you look up, you've got power lines, which, as we know, are something critical that we've been discussing as a state. It's a place that if we embrace all of these pressures on development, not embrace as in encourage them, but embrace them as challenges that we can help overcome in the future, these challenges are going to make farming smarter. All right, so you're going to see evolution here in addition to preservation and education. So I look forward to this continuing as a place for ag education, a place for ag literacy, a place to hopefully get some new farmers started. And I want to thank everybody for their support. Thank the county for this. There are not many counties that have farm museums. There are not many counties that have dedicated the time, the energy, the money for something like this. So kudos to the county, county exec, county council, and thank you all for supporting this. And with that, I would like to introduce representing the Spurrier family, Mark Spurrier.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for this opportunity. If my dad could... if my dad could stand up here and tell you what he wants to say, he would be doing the exact same thing I'm doing right now. I had no idea that was coming on, so I apologize. But I want to really kind of stress to you what this means to our family, what it meant to my dad. We have 4 generations of the Spurrier family here today. So if you're in the Spurrier family, please just wave your hand, stand up, let everybody know where you are. I'm going to lean on something that I was taught a long time ago at Linganore High School. I believe in the future of agriculture with a faith born not of words but of deeds. And behind you, you see a deed. It's not the plowing of a field. It's not the raising of a calf. It's not taking something to harvest to sell at the market. This is planting and truly a seed for the future. Because if we do not explain what farmers have done, what farmers have overcome, what agriculturalists have changed in the world to make it a better place, future generations will not understand and will not grasp why we are here today. Seeds to harvest. My father, if nothing else, believed in the power of youth more than anything else. He dedicated his life to supporting youth at church, to supporting 4-H, to supporting FFA. And every time you come and you talk to him about something and you ask him, why did you do that? He will always tell you it was for the youth. We are planting that seed today. But as you know, anytime you plant a seed, there's a fair amount of faith that goes into it. There's a fair amount of work that goes into it. You can't just put it in the ground and walk away. So the challenge for us moving forward, and the challenge that Paul Spurrier would ask us to do, is to continue reaping what we sow, work the earth, be a part of it. Because the harvest is not someone just walking through the door, reading a panel, and walking away with an idea. The harvest is that idea taking root in a young person's mind who never thought about it. The harvest is that child taking it home and telling their parent why we need to buy food at their local grocery market, or go to the farmer's market, or raise a garden in our backyard. The harvest is that youth in 25 to 30 years standing in the same places as our elected officials, backing up what we do today and supporting this industry for the future. That all starts somewhere, and this is as good a place as any. Thank you all to the Frederick County Farm Museum Association. You all have been closer to my dad than most. He cares about each and every one of you very personally, and I think you all have your personal stories and have heard him go on and on about many things, but he cares very deeply about you. Thank you to Frederick County and Frederick County Parks and Recreation. You have been some of the most meaningful people to him, and yes, he really did love walking into Jeremy's office anytime he wanted. And personally, I think the greatest highlight of his day is getting a hug from Kitty and from Carrie, and he just lightens up. To be perfectly honest, I'm going to let you all in on a little secret. I did not tell him we were coming here today. Because if I had, he would have been calling me every day for a month, asking me when we're going. Because he loves this place that much. In 2 days is his birthday. He will be turning 94. So this is his surprise birthday party. So I would like to conclude by everybody please joining me around in happy birthday, please. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Paul. Happy birthday to you. Now we're going for ice cream, so join us at Dairy Queen. I would like to conclude, thank everybody again. I'm going to turn it over to someone who's worked with my dad for a very, very long time. They've been at our dining room table. We've seen them at record book time, more times than I care to mention. But I would like to introduce for you past President Paul Leatherman.
They told me not to be too long. These legs are going to guarantee you that it won't be. At 82 years, in another couple weeks, yes, they have walked a lot of this Frederick County ground, and they've walked a lot of this ground. I was here at the first. I've been to many others. I have stories. I could keep you here for a half hour, maybe longer, but I won't, out of thoughtfulness. In 76, at our Grange meeting, because there are a number of agricultural organizations that are a part of forming this farm museum. But at a Grange meeting, a county-wide meeting, Rodman Myers, who we just lost, and we lost a great person when we lost Rodman, let me tell you. Powerful, powerful man, and a wonderful just person. But Rodman came to me and said, Paul Sprayer is trying to start a farm museum in Frederick at Rose Hill Manor. And Rodman said, and you ought to be there. To me. I said, well, where did they meet? At Rose Hill Manor. The number of times I had driven past Rose Hill Manor, didn't even know what it meant and how important it was. I got to know it inside and out and know the people around it, so it's been a great journey for me. There was a whole crowd of people, and you may recognize and remember some of these names as I go down through the list, and I'm going to try not to mess up and miss anybody. I hope I've got everyone down in here. But of course you've seen Paul and his family, but Paul was here. It was his dream. This was Paul's dream. And he communicated that to me in very strong terms more than one time. This was his dream. And I would not take one speck of respect away from that, because it is his, was just a shining goal, he said, and it's so proper. And I'm glad, I'm just sorry he can't speak, because I know he has a lot to say, and we love to say it. And we thank you, Paul. We thank you. Let me tell you, my hat is off to you. And you notice what that hat says on the side. Charter president. Yes, I got right into the scheme of things going on the road. But when we first came down here, there were a bunch around that were here. Fred and Janice Beachley. Janice was our first treasurer, and she said the budget will balance to the penny. And if it didn't, she went over our case. She was very firm in that. We also had the Lynn Harts. We had Levi and Ruth. They came down. They were part of this. Rodman, of course, he invited me. The Garst family, Peggy and John, they were a part of this first group that came out. And there's just all these great people that came, and they were a part of forming up this wonderful farm museum. Dedicated from the many farm organizations that are represented here in the county, from the Farm Bureau, from the Grange, from FFA, from 4-H. And I'll make one confession now. I met my wife here because she was here doing a 4-H program. And that's been 46 years for us now too, so a lot to celebrate here at the Rose Hill Manor. I love the place. We came here and we all round about that. Gil Kingsbury was the director of Parks and Rec at that time. Rita Fuller, if anybody remembers Rita, she was the director, I know Paul does, and Rita was the director of Rose Hill Manor. And the docents that were here, Kitty Schreiber and Ann Leberts, I know you know those names if you've done much in Frederick County around this area. They were the docents. In fact, Kitty Schreiber's husband was my guidance counselor in high school. We just keep connecting. You see that? We are a connected group, and it's so beautiful. And that's what it's all about, and that's what the Farm Museum represents. On that first time, and it started raining a while ago, and I said, that is appropriate. If it had poured, it would be appropriate. Because in 1976, we had a tent up on top of the hill. We were set up to do a barbecue chicken, to raise some money to start the farm museum, and we didn't even get to light the charcoal. We were walking in the ground, and the ground was saying squish, squish, because it would rain for 4 days prior. And you couldn't even hardly walk across the ground. But Levi Lenhart's dad came out, he said a wonderful thing. He said, you fellas complaining about the rain, and farmers, you know what I mean. He said, never complain about the rain because it's making you money. Making you money. Think about that whenever you want to complain. We had some other friends came in. Sam Jones, who lived right over here in Harmony Grove, and Ernie Jackson, who had Jackson Electric. They brought their antique tractors down. My antique tractor came. And if you get hold of an old paper from that time, you'll see a picture of the tractors that did show up. One of them was my dad's tractor, and sitting on there was a young girl turned around backwards on the seat, and she's sitting over at that end of this row. And that's my daughter Sheila. Our family has been here the whole time. The whole time. Think about that. And then Tom Norris came along. He showed up that day. I never met Tom Norris in my life. He said, I just came to look around. He said, I've got old tractors. I said, well, where are they? He said, home in the dry. Of course. And I understood that perfectly too. So were mine. But these people came out and they went for it. And they came and they supported and brought the equipment, brought their demonstrations, brought their families, brought food. It's been a working organization, a powerful organization. And we're so thankful for all of those that came. I've written a note down here that stop to think about this as a fact for you to tuck away in your mind. Farming is an act of faith, pure and simple. It is an act of faith. You take a seed, however dry, however wrinkled up, however it might look unproductive, plant it, the water comes, and the good genetics that God had placed into that seed, the promise of a future. They told me that they found wheat in the pyramids and they planted it just to see what would happen. They planted it, watered it, and it grew after thousands of years in dormant life. Farmers plant in faith and then hope for harvest. Here at the Farm Museum, we took a seed of a thought that belonged to Paul. A lot of others of us bought that seed as well. We all planted it, we all watered it, did our part for it, and it has prospered, and it has grown, and it has become what you see here today. I was here for a number of things. I was here for the building of the Morton building. I was here for the moving of the bank barn. That was an experience, let me tell you, piece by piece, not in a great big solid piece. So the efforts have been great. The efforts have been monumental. But we have planted, cultivated, and now we hand off to another generation, and I'm so happy that others are coming behind to pick it up. Makes me feel, I know it refreshes Paul's heart to see the organization go and grow. And so for this we are thankful to those who lead us, to those who guide us, to those who have supported us. Got to know a lot of county commissioners I'd never met in my life. All good to us, all supportive. Mary Sue and Richard are over there. We're thankful to them too. I see them sitting in there. They surprised me when they came along. I see some faces in here that I had never met until I got involved with the Farm Museum. So it's more than just a museum. It's more than just a dedication. For those of us who have been here from day one. I was here at the second meeting of the planning committee. So for those of us who started that, it has become a wonderful experience, an extended family, and a great thing that we have seen grow out of a tiny little seed, but had the genetics and was ready to go. So we thank all you that are a part of it now. We thank our legislators, administrators, all those people that support us, because they haven't always been positive. I'll tell you right now, in 1976, one of the well, in fact, he had even said when they were ready to restore Rose Hill Manor, he was on the county commissioners, and he said, when they came to him for a vote, he said, burn it down. When we wanted to get the barn out at Montague, they asked him again. He was going back on the county commissioners. They asked him, he says, burn it down. And we said we would not. And then we had to go around him and get money in order to move it, which we did, and there it is, and you see it. So it has not been an easy struggle, been worthwhile. And anybody that had a part of it is proud and should be, rightly so. And Oh, hold up my green button there, Joe, that you've got there beside you. My button card. I forgot to bring it up. The green button, if you have one of those, that's 1976. There's also 78 and 79, some 80s in there. I had a whole collection of buttons. If you have a red one, pat yourself on the back. I only ordered 20 that year I was president, and they went just like that. Everybody wanted the red buttons, but not everybody got them. So if you have one of those, count yourself lucky, treasure it, because I give you that as a memento to hang on to. So I thank you for allowing me to speak. And like I say, I can share a whole lot more if you're willing to listen, and we'll just take a moment. But for now, we cherish and we thank every single one of you that has been a part of this tremendous organization and this great display that will go on, because it's founded well. It has good genetics in the farming community. Thank you so much. Thanks all of you. Thank you. Walking there. So it doesn't know what's supposed to.
Let's hear it again from Mr. Paul here. Both Mr. Pauls, I guess, right? I want to say, it's been said a couple times, and in a joking way, but it's very true. Mr. Paul Spurrier it's like the second Tuesday of every month, like clockwork, would meet me in my office before we had our meeting at the Parks Commission meetings. And Mr. Paul doesn't get a lot of Paul Spurrier doesn't get a lot of attention today about his service on the Parks Commission, which he did for, oh man, I'm close to on and off again for almost 30 years, right? It's close to that. And that's very commendable, and a lot of change in our park system has happened because of that man. So I'm very thankful to be here. And his passion, like you said, is very monumental. What we've done here is not just this building. It is this building plus everything that has come before and what will come again. And as Kitty mentioned, 2007, we did the master plan. Master plans are built on ideas, on vision, on planting seeds. And then we manifest those things. Other generations get to enjoy, experience, but we leave a legacy. And that's what we're doing today. So I want to thank my staff. First of all, any of the Parks and Rec staff, please raise your hand. Thank you. Our comms team, our recreation team, Mandy and Carrie, who actually, their fingerprints are all over everything inside this building, as Kitty said. I also want to thank all the FCG staff that are here in general, because it doesn't just take Parks and Rec to do these types of things, it takes a team. And so we're very thankful for all of you and everything you've participated in to make this happen. I want to thank again to all our speakers, our partners and volunteers, and there's just all of you for taking a little bit of time out of your Saturday to come out and celebrate something very special. This project is possible because of you, and we just get to steward it. It's basically all we get to do. So we get to enjoy that part, and you can enjoy it together with us. The Seed to Harvest building. This exhibit building is an exciting addition to our Roseville Manor, all of our museums, which we enjoy. You can enjoy today. You can go up and walk through them today. And we look forward to welcoming visitors as they explore these exhibits we're about to open, and they'll learn more about agriculture for years to come. So, with all that, we'd also like to extend a special thank to the Farm Museum Association. Again, one more time, thank you for having this vision. Thank you for making this happen. Your partnership is very precious to us, and it's been very effective. It's very effective for the county. So let's open this building up. So I want to officially open the Harvest building. So I'm going to ask those powers that be to come up, and anybody who is a speaker would be at the green ribbon up here for our special ribbon cutting. Anybody who's a speaker, please come up. Any special guests from the Farm Museum also and the Parks Commission, please come up and stand for this special occasion. And with that, I want to thank you for coming. Please stay for the picture and enjoy the museum with us together. Thank you.